Don't be alarmed, we are definitely ending Red, but that doesn't mean the series will end. Before we know it, or more like only guessed it until now, we have been in the final arc of Red for quite some time. In my opinion, it was abundantly clear that is the case ever since many characters are united in one setting with the same purpose, along with defining character development. Kaneki is one that has yet to develop, despite him barricaded from reality as Dragon continues to devour. This chapter begins the end of the old and enters a new for the greater good. It's the development that we all waited for, and one he truly deserved. This entire psychological trip with Kaneki and Rize has been some of the best characterization displayed that Ishida has done. This chapter not only hits me hard with shockingly relatable traits, but it reminds me on why Kaneki is among one of my favorite protagonists due to well thought out developments and depth perception of hardship and triumph. It has been a tough trip to see him undergo the pain and misery and broken dreams. Now I have a good feeling we are going to get our rewards. Earlier, we witnessed Kaneki trying to go back to reality by swimming through possible endless ocean with no second thought. The last chapter has him challenged on his belief and desires of his own, yet nothing seems perfect or good. It only strikes as selfish, flawed, and not good enough to truly satisfy Kaneki's need. That is, if there's any in the first place. This chapter has him lying down and avoids the collective sins. It's eerie to know that Dragon is still out there killing people, notably CCG members. It's literally raining people, making it uneasy to miss it on purpose. It would easily acknowledge him as irresponsible. Rize continues to show the opposite of Kaneki in handling the business of the real life. Kaneki couldn't bear the notion of a killer, which breaks him apart. Rize, on the other hand, never cared for whom she has to kill. If she has to escape from her dreadful family, she will do whatever it costs. It's striking to have Rize explain her reason to make her first move because it portrays the similarity of the starting ground. Rize was going to be a nursery, a tool that is meant to birth children and nothing more. She has gone far enough to the point that she pretty much did what she was meant to do. Hence, Olgai. Probably not exactly like it, but is an ironic twist of fate. The point is she made her move and never really find herself discomfort. Kaneki, on the other hand, always feels depressed when he did something that doesn't please his judgment. The dialogues are really well written. It dives inner depth of the outlook of a person that could be classified as picky, selective, and naive. Kaneki is once more challenged with the correct view of life when she tells him if it's okay that he has killed people unconsciously. It's like if he doesn't know he killed a man, then he's innocent. There are real life people that are shaken with killing a person in self-defense. If you, the spirit, killed a man, then it's simple as that. You killed a man. It gets really grim with every passing panel which has Rize diving in deeper and deeper with the mentality of responsibility. It's her words and evident action that make this surreally realistic because it's the harsh and cruel reality that mankind has to face. When you fight, it's inevitable for blood to spill. That's like being a policeman. You're bound to open fire one day. The real challenge is Kaneki not able to accept the idea of wrongful doing under his belt. The breakdown is shivering stuff. He can no longer hide the fact or deny his sins, as well as misguided meaning to his purpose. The damage is severe enough for him to have another breakdown. I was afraid that he was going to end up the similar path as Oguri arc. Rize spouts out every question that leaves him confused and headache. Eventually begin to lose it. It reminds me of Zuko from Avatar The Last Airbender, where he feels so confused, but questioned from every angle until he finds out that he is angry at himself. And here is trying to find the concrete purpose of his life. The guilt trip ends and begins the sorrow trip. All he wanted is to be needed by someone. It was hinted and established in one way before, but not to the extent of admitting and finally confess as a maturing man. Despite the tragic beginning, he earned Ghoul friends, chosen as the leader, and Toko as his wife. The line that hit me hard is how he thought that as long as he kept on fighting, he would be wanted by someone. That's pretty sad. The panel of just his hand tells enough story of how much scars he has, figuratively and metaphorically speaking. It's relatable because we can be selfish, aware or not, on what we want or desire. And we may not care of anything else. We're flawed, and we can't be the way we wish to be. It's very telling of his dilemma as a person when he felt that bearing sins make him ineligible to be with his friends and family. It finally clicks to him that he has imagined his own world to deny everything, hence Hide, Rize, and even himself. Rize did appear once again because of consumption of Olga in his body. It is left ambiguous on whether the current Rize is actually the conscience of her true self or just a fragment of imagination with new info input after devouring Olga. It's rather genius to have the readers questioning on her appearance. Is this how she truly is? Is this what Kaneki continues to portray as? Is she always his ideal of Ghoul? The profound defining question that essentially opens his mind completely is his current opinion of Rize. Does he hate her for the event of chapter 1? They are bounded from that very fateful day that changed their life forever. What I really like is how Kaneki didn't hate her, yet she does hate him. It's a reasonable insert to draw the difference further between the two, yet keep them similar as people. Everyone changes and grow differently. It's not about Kaneki showing her the right way or talk no jutsu her to set what's right. It is to realize that his life isn't as miserable as he imagines it to be. Yes, life can be harsh. Yes, we will have bad times. Hell, death in life sounds like default sadness we all have to experience. But live long and enjoy to the fullest. Kaneki has come to his senses that even though he has done wrongful deeds and many misfortunate moments happen, he has found the one and only one long-awaited request that we have been waiting for him to earn: happiness. That meme from Titanic is well suited for that line. It was very emotional psychological ride for Kaneki that finally accumulated all the developments for this one major foundation. I was so glad that this is where he finally landed on. The panel of Kaneki watching bodies falling down shows his growth of acceptance and renewed determination to swim again. My favorite part is the fact he is now going to take responsible of his action, hence swimming. This time, he knows what he is in for. This is the development that I have been waiting for. One of the strong aspects of Ishida's writing of Kaneki is how he dissects every detail of a character's psyche. If you recall the last development Kaneki had, he would move forward like a centipede. It was a turning point of his mental state, since he would do whatever the cost to protect his loved ones. However, it didn't uncover his past actions, rather ignore it and keep on devouring. Why do you think all of those Kanekis even argue in the first place? That meeting ignored the past. This one acknowledged it. He can now move freely. I really adore this chapter. It's a sublime dissecting a character scenario without the need to make one a hero in the argument. No one is perfect, and that's realistic as it can be. Kaneki has finally concluded that he must take the responsibility and not dwell by it. The cold ocean could be hell, but hopefully he escapes and returns to reality as a new man, one in which we are finally granted to see after so long. Share your thoughts in the comment section. We finally got to this point. Now that it's officially confirmed that it is the final arc, we are definitely getting a part 3. I don't know what's going to be titled, but I already get the sense this part 3. Unless this final arc is going to be very long, but I doubt it. I think this is where it's going to conclude, with Kaneki as a newborn man. Well, besides the future events, but nothing will stop him to get that happy ending. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.